Well, on the other hand, a blog post that I have never written, but I titled and think about writing is called "The Changelog Has Never Gone Viral." And it's not me complaining about the fact that we never gone viral, but like our podcast, The Changelog, which has been around for 14 years now, we've had shows that are more popular, shows that are less popular. We've had blog posts and stuff that make it to Hacker News. We've had clips that go viral. That one's Practical AI, so the changelog still hasn't done that. But throughout all these years, I mean, we haven't had our viral moment, Adam. I mean, we never will.
Yeah.
We just kind of slow and steady it, and we just keep putting out what we think is good content. We hope is good content, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that should be an encouragement. Of course, it does mean that you sometimes have to play the long game. Like the question is, how long do you continue? When do you stop? And if you're getting intrinsic value yourself, K-Ball,
Yeah.
you have to judge that. You can also measure impact in a couple of different ways, breadth and depth. And so you're demonstrating depth of impact with your human skills conversations because the number of people you're reaching them in a deep way, a way that it reaches them enough that they will tell you. And that's actually a pretty high threshold because most people will just listen to your show and never talk to you your entire life.
Totally.
Until you see them at a conference and they're like, I've been listening to you for years. And you're like, how come you never told me before? You know?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So the people that do tell you, it means that you've actually, there's a few different kinds of people, of course. Some people just tend to be more communicative on the internet. And so they're the kind of person who will email you. But then there's also the fact that like you helped them enough that they felt compelled to email you. And that's depth of impact. So if you can get both breadth and depth going, now you have a hit. But if you have one or the other, I guess I personally would take depth over breadth myself.
Yeah.
Even though numbers games appeal to our dopamine things, you guys can probably help me with the brain science on that. But that could keep you going until you just slow and steady build up a base. I mean, that's what we have done. We've never had a viral moment with the changelog. We've had, I think the very first time we had the React team on the changelog years and years ago, I think that show did probably outperform like double the shows around it. Like it was a very successful episode, but not like you see with, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram kind of virality.
Totally.
Podcasts just don't do that unless you have an existing audience, right? Like MKBHD, millions of followers on YouTube, starts a podcast. He immediately has a huge reach on his podcast. Like that one went viral, so to speak, because that's just him extending his reach.
Thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But starting from scratch, I mean, most podcasts never have 100 listeners. I was just telling Richard Feldman this the other day. Most podcasts never reach 100 listeners. If you've reached 100 and you're still kicking, like that's success.